Good evening, all the joinees. Hi, this is Ansu. I welcome you all to the webinar conducted by Engine Markets. By the time the others join in, let's have a look at today's webinar topic. So, today our broader topic is pertaining to mutual fund analytics. Firstly, we will be looking upon the return comparison of a single fund with that of the benchmark. When compared together, how has the fund performed against that of the benchmark? Following that, we will be having an overview on the asset allocation of this fund. That is, the total portfolio of a fund. We would be trying to understand how has the changes happened. Following that, we will be looking upon the rolling return analysis, which can let you know the consistency of the funds that we are looking upon. And lastly, we will be talking about the drawdown analysis, which lets us see how quickly the portfolio has recovered from a loss that has happened in the past. Right here, how the fund has recovered from the loss that has happened in the past, and the scenario analysis, which can enable you to create customized scenarios of your own. And lastly, the quorum would be open for a Q&A session. You could either unmute yourself or type down your questions related to today's topic in the chat box. So let us begin. So this is our landing page on Engine Markets, which is the Markets tab. So with relation to today's topic, which is single fund analysis, I will firstly highlight the two ways how you can go forward with a single fund analysis. The first step is you can make use of our Funds tab, the fifth tab. In the Funds tab, we have a screener tab that can help you to select or rather filter out funds. How do you go about it will be, you can simply click on this option called as filter categories. And this will give you the four buckets, which are specifically the asset classes: equity, debt, hybrid, and others. And within these asset classes, we have their SEBI classification. Multiple categories could be selected at the same time. Let's say for now I select a single category of maybe large and mid cap and I close this box. Now we are looking upon the total universe of large and mid cap funds. Now, if let's say you try to look upon maybe HDFC large and mid cap fund to do a in-depth analysis on fund level, all you need to do is click on the name of that respective fund and it will take you to a separate new tab which will now show you a single fund analysis page. So this is the first way how you can go forward with a single fund analysis on our platform. The second way is more like a search bar option that will be available on your end. So for that, we go to our Engine Markets page, and then at the top, at the center of the page, you see an option called as Search Fund. All you need to do is simply type in the name of that respective fund. Let's say I am trying to look for Kotak Multicap. I'll simply click on that and it will take me to the source page. Now, this is a single fund analysis of Kotak Multicap that we are currently looking upon. First thing is this first box that comes in front of you, which will tell you the basic detail, that is the firstly identification code of this fund, that is the ISIN or the AMFI code. Following that, it can tell you the respective asset class as well as the respective SEBI classification. Next to that, it can tell you on what date did the fund was there or rather launched into the market. Following that, it tells you the risk meter. Currently, it says that Kotak Multicap is a very high risky fund. Next to that is the benchmark declared by the fund manager, which is currently Nifty Multicap 50 25 25 TRI. Following that are the dates, the start and the end date. You have an option to change both by simply clicking on this change option. We have provided you with certain predefined time periods. You can either go forward with them. If not, let's say you want to input your respective custom dates, you can simply search for the same. At the moment, I am not changing this start date. I am taking it from 29 September 2021 till our last trading day, which was 14th Jan 2026. Following that, if you come towards the right, we have this tab which says AUM, which will let you know the current AUM of this respective fund, which is to an extent of 22,000 crore. Now, if you wish to see the history of this respective fund's AUM, you can click on this projector kind of an icon. Once you click onto the same, it can tell you what is the history of changes of AUM for this respective fund. So, month on month, however the AUM changes, you get to see the same statistical data just by keeping your cursor onto these bar graphs. Now, this is the total AUM change that is there on the system. In addition to that, we have also introduced an option called as AUM changes, which are adjusted for the fund's return. Now, we are aware that AUM basically changes due to two reasons. First will be the cash inflow and the cash outflow, and the second would be the changes that would have happened in the market going up and down, which in fact brings changes to the AUM of the fund. So, right here, what we are showing are adjusted for the fund's return. That is to say that we are currently showing here in this green and red bar chart, we are showing you the cash inflow and the cash outflow that has happened for each month respectively. Following that, if you want to understand this in detail, you can anytime download an Excel for the same, and a bit more detailed explanation to how did the figure come up to can be seen using this Excel. Following that, if you wish to see the latest NAV of this fund, you can anytime have a look at the same, and it also tells you as to on which date was the NAV last updated. Next to that, if you move further towards the right, you can come across this option called as all funds option, which gives you the flexibility to select the type of fund that you're looking upon. Currently, since we are using or rather looking upon a regular fund, it is highlighted into this blue bar. If let's say you want to look upon only the direct fund, or maybe let's say an IDCW fund, you have an option to select from these, as these are simply clickable on your end. Post that, we have also mentioned what is the exit load which is associated to each fund. You can use this scroller to read the details of the exit load for the fund. And then lastly, we have is this benchmark as an option. So by default, for every fund, you might see their respective benchmark coming up. So since this being a multi-cap, you get to see that Nifty 500 multi-cap 50, 25, 25 has been selected right here. However, we give the user the flexibility to change the benchmark of their choice and bring up the comparison against the benchmark that they select. Post that, the first analysis that we will be looking upon will be the tab called as Fund Performance. So this specifically lets us know how has the fund performed against the selected benchmark. Now, currently, if you look upon this line chart, the blue line is showing you the performance of the fund, and the black line chart will show you the performance of the benchmark. And you can see that it has been mentioned as rebased price, and the benchmark is also rebased. Now, what do we mean by rebased? For that, firstly, I'll just select this option of actual NAVs, which can help you understand that in detail. Now, when we select an actual NAV as a checkbox, you see both the benchmark as well as the fund will start in from their respective levels. Hence, currently you are not able to view a fair graphical representation of their returns chart, of how they are moving. And hence, we brought in an option of rebase, which is that it will consider a common start point of 100, post which you get to see a fair graphical representation of the data. So currently, just by looking at the graph, we could say that in this time period of 2021 till 2026, the fund Kotak Multicap has been beating the benchmark, or we could say it has been outperforming the benchmark that we are looking upon. Next to that, you can also see certain statistical data for the same. For example, the cumulative return, which is the absolute or rather the point to point return. From the start date till the end date, how has the returns changed? You can see for the fund, it is to an extent of 98.6%, while for the benchmark, it is to an extent of 65.6%. Following that, what has been the volatility, the standard deviation that has been considered to generate these returns? 14.9 is the volatility of the fund, and 14.3 is the volatility of the benchmark. So we see here that the fund indeed is taking a bit higher risk than that of the benchmark, but it is any time compensated by the greater return that the fund has been generating. That could be seen in terms of its CAGR as well, which is 17.3 for the fund and 12.4 for the benchmark. In addition to that, you could also look upon its Sharpe ratio too, which tells you the risk adjusted return, which is again higher for the fund at 0.70 than that of the benchmark at 0.42. And lastly, you can also have a look upon the Sortino ratio, which is more or less similar to that of Sharpe ratio, which also shows you the risk adjusted return. But the only difference is that when we consider the volatility, we would consider the negative returns only, which tells you the downside risk taking capacity of the fund. And Sortino as well, the higher it is, the better it is. So here we see for the fund, the Sortino happens to be higher than that of the benchmark. Following that, if we move further towards the bottommost section of the page, we come across this monthly chart and yearly chart. So monthly chart firstly tells us a data called as number, which says 53, which is to say that in this time horizon of 2021 till 2026, there has been a total of 53 months, out of which 35 months the portfolio gave in an up performance and 18 months it gave in a down performance. And when we convert this into percentage, out of a total of 100%, 66% times the fund gave or generated a positive return, while 33% of times it generated a negative or it was not doing well, is what you could say. In those respective months, it can tell you what was the best return that was generated by the fund, and correspondingly, what was the worst return generated by the fund when the fund was not performing well. And similarly, you can also view it in terms of the yearly statistics. What was the total number of year, and in those years, how did the fund perform? What was the best and the worst return across all the 4 years that we are looking upon? Post this fund performance, now we will be moving towards the asset allocation page. Now, asset allocation will let you know the total portfolio of a respective fund. Starting off with this overview tab, firstly, it will tell you what is the total asset allocation of this fund. So, on a broader aspect, it says that since this is an equity fund, 98% is into stocks, which is underlying component that form a part of this fund. In addition to that, you can also have a look upon the total holdings that this respective fund has, which is 69 as of 31st December 2025. Now, these are the list of the stocks or the components that this respective fund holds. And next to that, you get to see its market capitalization. And following that, you get to know that what percent has this fund invested into a respective stock. For example, into ITC, this fund holds 4.76% of its AUM into ITC as a stock. Following that, we have a tab called as Position Changes by Month, which says in consideration to the previous month, what has been the largest increase, the largest decrease, any positions that have been added, or any positions that have been removed. For example, if we talk about the largest increase, if we ignore the steps, the largest increase came in the form of Indus Towers, which is to an extent of 0.52. And similarly, the largest decrease was from Ashok Leyland, which was to an extent of 0.79% was sold out. Now, right here, we will be showing you the top 10 largest increase and the largest decrease. Following that, if there are any new positions that have been added, we would show up the name of that respective security and its allocation simply next to it. And in a similar way, if a specific position has been removed, it will come up in this section called as position removed. Again, the data will be same. For example, Bajaj Auto has been removed from this funds portfolio to an extent of 0.81%. Now, this data we are viewing in comparison to the previous month. That is the portfolio for the month of December when we compare it to November. And we have this data for the previous 12 months. For example, if I select this as 31st July 2025, it will let me know how has the portfolio of this fund changed in consideration to June 2025. So we show this comparison for the previous 12 months. You can simply click on the month that you're focused upon. Next to that, we have a tab called as Position Over Time, which tells us or rather gives us the data of how has this portfolio changed over a period of time. And over a period, we consider it to be a 12 months time period. So in the 12 months time period, you can view that by using this scroller and moving towards the right. So 31st December 2024 will be the first data set till the latest data, which is 31st December 2025. How has the portfolio of this fund changed is what we are looking upon. Now, here as well, we give you color coordinations. There are green and reds that you see. So, green says, in consideration to the previous month, there has been an increase in terms of holding. And red says, in consideration to the previous month, there has been a reduction in terms of holding. Now, currently, what we are seeing on the screen is changes in terms of percentages. For example, as of 30th November 2025, Kotak Multicap Fund held Maruti Suzuki to an extent of 5.71% in its portfolio, which indeed increased to 5.94% as of 31st December 2025. Now, if you want to understand whether this change in percent has happened due to buying or selling of stocks or due to the change in price of a respective stock, we have an toggle option for the same. You can click on this drop down icon and select the option called as shares in lakhs. Right? Once you select the option of shares in lakhs, now we are looking upon the shares held by this fund with respect to the stocks that we are looking upon. For example, let's search for Maruti Suzuki right here. Sorry. Yeah. Right here, you could see Maruti Suzuki that we are looking upon. You can see the shares, which was to an extent of 8 lakhs, came up to 8 lakh 20,000. Hence, we could say that there has been a change in terms of the shares. They have brought more shares of Maruti Suzuki. Hence, we were able to see a total percentage change for this respective stock as well. And this changes that we are looking upon, you can view it not just on a respective security level, but on a sectoral level. That is, on a sectoral level, how has this portfolio of this fund changed for a period of 12 months in past? You can use the small scroller and move further towards the right. And the color again says the same. Green suggests an increase and red suggests a reduction. And this data could also come up into an Excel download as well. Following that, we have the fourth tab called as concentration. Firstly, it tells you the equity market cap exposure. It will tell you the split in terms of large, mid, and small cap of the portfolio of this respective fund. Now, once we add this mid cap 26%, small cap 23%, and large cap 47%. Once we add the three of this, it will come to the exact percent that we see right here, which is 98.19. Now, everything other than this equity, which is cash, mutual funds, or anything else which will be other than equity, will be classified or grouped into this pie section called as others, which is currently to an extent of 1.81%. Now, this data, you could view it as percent of fund. If not, you can also view it as percent of equity exposure as well, which is to say that when now we are looking at this fund, we will consider this equity of 98% to be at 100, and then we will be dividing it in terms of the large, mid, and small cap split of this respective fund. Following that, we have is this equity sectors tab, which tells you which sector is heavily weighted towards this fund. So we show the top 10 sectors in this bar graph. The total sector exposure are available right here. Now the top 10, why we show it specifically is because these bar graphs that you see are clickable. That is, you can click on that respective bar graph, and currently to this fund, which is Kotak Multicap, you can see banks as a sector has an exposure to an extent of 15.73%. And out of this sector, the highest exposure comes from SBI Bank, which is to an extent of 4.32%, followed by Indus Bank and Bank of Baroda. So in a similar way, you can click onto any of these bar graphs and it will tell you which are the stocks from that respective sectors that have exposure towards this portfolio and to what extent they have the exposure. And the same data, you could anytime download them on your end into an Excel as well. Following that, we come towards our rolling tab. Now, rolling, as the name suggests, lets you see the consistency of the schemes that you're looking upon. Now, when you do a single fund analysis, we provide you simultaneously with 3 rolling windows. So by default, you see these are multiples of 260 that you see 260, 520, and 780. Specifically, because on our platform, we consider only the working days, or rather, only the trading days. Hence, 1 year is equivalent to 260 days. However, you have an option to edit these rolling windows on your end as well. In addition to that, you can view this data not just on an absolute basis, but also on an annualized basis. And for the same, you can view the statistical data and also the graphical data. Talking about the statistical data, we could see right here against 260 days, that is a 1 year of holding period, it says the average ruling would have been 20.9%, which is to say that if you had held onto the Kotak multi-cap fund for any 1 year, which is our rolling window, from the start date of September 2021 till this end date of Jan 2026, you would have had an average rolling return to an extent of 20.9%. Now, how volatile are these rolling returns is what could be understand looking at these volatility parameter. It says 16.30 is the volatility of these rolling returns in a 1 year holding period. And similarly, what was the highest rolling return and the lowest rolling return in a 260-day holding period? Now, the same analysis or statistics could also be understood onto this line chart as well. Let's say I deselect this 520 and 780 rolling window and we try to read or understand this 260 days rolling window specifically. So this line chart that you see on our platform, we calculate these rolling data on a daily basis. So you could say that for every 260 data point, we will be showing you a rolling statistics or a rolling data specifically. Now, how do you understand this? For example, if let's say I keep my cursor onto this data set, which is showing you the return of 49.84, which is our highest rolling return, and the date has been mentioned as 8th April 2024. So it says that if you had held onto this fund for a year, which is exactly 1 year prior to 8th April 2024, you would have been the luckiest because you would be getting a rolling return of 49.8. Approximately a 50% rolling return would have been generated had you invested exactly 260 days prior to 8th April 2024. And similar is the statistics when you look at it for a 520-day rolling window as well as a 780-day rolling window, which are 2 year and 3 year accordingly. So one thing that you can focus right here could be the volatility parameter. It says that in a 1 year holding period, the volatility, which was to an extent of 16%, has come down to a total of 1.79 had you held onto this fund for a total of 3 years. And you can also look upon the lowest rolling return too. In a 1 year holding period, when the lowest return was a negative 4.3, has become a total of 17.8 in a 3 year holding period, which is currently stated for MFs. The more you stay invested into a fund, your volatility reduces. Hence, your chances of generating negative return or rather lower return would also reduce. Following that, we move further towards the drawdown step. Now, drawdown tells you how quickly a fund has recovered from any loss that has happened in the past. Now, in this bar chart that you see, we show the extent or rather the magnitude of loss that has been experienced, and the detail for the same is available right next to you. We show the top 10 drawdown and recovery analysis on a single fund level. So for this Kotak multi-cap fund, you see the highest loss was to an extent of 21.4%, wherein the fund which was at 20.18, that is the NAV which was at 20.18, started falling and it reached 15.8. Now, when did this downfall happen? We've mentioned the same 27th September 2024 till 3rd March 2025, which was the 2024 year market correction. During this time period, which is a total of 111 days of loss. During this time period, the NAV fell from a 20 till a 15.8. And post our end date of March 2025, it took a total of 192 days for this fund to recover. That is 192 days to cross our start NAV. Only then we could say that a loss of 21% has been completely recovered. And the recovery happened on 26th November 2025. So, in a similar way, you can understand the losses for all the other situations. We let you know what is the magnitude of loss and when did it recover and how many days were taken to recover. And this data can also be corroborated onto this line chart as well. For example, if we try to locate this first loss of 21%, which started from 27th September 2024. So, onto the graph, the white region will show you the recovery phase, and the gray region will show you the drawdown phase. So, right here, this gray section is showing you the drawdown of 21%. Now, if I try and locate 26th November 2025, so somewhere right here, at this place, you could see it says that for 26th November 2025, the NAV was 20.20. Hence, this date has been considered as the recovery date. Why? Because it has crossed our start NAV. Now, this statistics that you see can anytime be downloaded into an Excel as well. And lastly, what we have for today is this scenarios tab that can help you in creating customized scenarios of your own. So we have provided certain inbuilt or predefined scenarios. You have an option to create your custom scenario. For example, let's say I create a year to date scenario for the year 2025. So I'll take the start date as 2025 Jan 1st and the end date as December 31st. And I'll save this scenario. So within seconds, your scenario gets saved right here. All you need to do is click onto the name of that respective scenario, and it tells you that in that time period that you had set in, how did the fund perform against that of the benchmark? What was the returns and what was the volatility for both? Now, this analysis, which is a single fund analysis, could anytime be generated into a report or more like a fact sheet that you can share with your client. We have a one pager, two pager, and a three pager PDF. I would be highlighting a two pager PDF. Not just PDFs, but there are also PPTs that you can download on your end as well. So this is a two-pager PDF, which will be a co-branded report in the premium and the pro version. On top left, it will be your company name and logo. And these are the basic details. Following that, it tells you who is the current fund manager and what is the fund TER. Next to that, you get to see the portfolio of this fund, which is the latest portfolio of the fund. Following that is the performance statistics, and lastly will be a disclaimer page. This is a two-pager PDF. We also have a one-pager and a three-pager PDF as I highlighted. So that is it for the topic related webinar. If anyone has any question related to today's topic, you can either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box. If there is anything which is not related to today's topic, you can drop your contact details in the chat box and our team will be reaching out to you shortly. Okay, so there's a question in the chat box. Is it possible to select a set of parameters and then generate PPT which has these parameters instead of default or all? So currently, when you generate the PPT on a single fund level, there are standard slides that come up into your report. However, we can note this as a feedback and we can bring this option to give you the flexibility to select the slides, which we have anytime brought onto our portfolio level analysis, wherein when you generate a PPT on any of the portfolio, we give you the option to select the slides that you want to see in your PPT. We can anytime take that as a feedback. So, right here, you can see you get the option to select. This is there on a portfolio level. We can work on it if we could bring it on a single fund level as well. All right. So there is a question in the chat box which says, in your example of Maruti of Kotak Multicap, why the asset allocation was read from October to November? Just a minute. Yeah. So from October to November, if you see the allocation, the percentage holding has been reduced, which was 6.01 in the month of October, which indeed reduced to 5.71. Hence, you see it in red color as I highlighted. If there is any reduction, it will show up in red, and if there is any increase, it will show up in green that you see. All right, there's another question to explain the distribution chart. Just a minute. So distribution chart plainly shows you the return distribution of a respective fund basis a return period that you set in. So right here we have three return periods that we give an option on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. Let's say I select it on 1 month basis, and right here you also have an option to select intervals. Now these are the intervals that you see on the x-axis. You can increase the number of intervals to have a clearer picture on the data that you're looking upon. And then once you click on run, these are the statistics that come across. First thing that it states is observation, and which is mentioned as 52. It says that in this time horizon of September 2021 till Jan 2026, there has been a total of 52 months, out of which the mean monthly return is 1.40. The median monthly return, which is more or less average when the data is arranged in ascending or descending order, happens to be 2.11. And then the mode, which says the maximum observation ranged between 2.61 to 2.96 on a monthly basis. The explanation for each of these terms could be available once you click onto the question mark, and this mode can also be determined once you hover onto this bar chart. So the exact same data is visible that you see on mode next to mentioned interval 2.61 to 2.96, and frequency it says 6, which is to say that there were 6 such months out of 52 months. There were 6 such months when the monthly return ranged between 2.61 to 2.96. Okay, so there's a question in the chat box. In peers tab, does the data include returns and other parameters since inception only? So just a minute. Yes. So right here, the statistics that you see, the CAGR will be since the inception of each of the schemes, or for that matter, the volatility and Sharpe ratio will be since inception. The AUM and TER would be the latest, and the yearly return that you see, these also would be the latest.
Hi, Anshu. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I've seen here that benchmark you have taken Nifty 500, means not taken, it is there, multi-cap
By default.
50, 25, 25. Sometimes when you go to fund performance, although not in this case, in many of the
Hmm.
cases, Nifty 50 is given as the benchmark in the chart. So all the data is basis the benchmark which is mentioned on the top left or on the basis of what is shown in the chart. So if you can click the fund
Okay, so
performance,
what
I
is,
can.
yes, this section, right?
Here at times what I see is what is mentioned as the benchmark in top left is
Hmm.
different from what is shown here. At times, what is shown here is Nifty 50 by default.
Hmm.
In many of the funds, I'm not saying in all the funds.
Hmm.
Many times you will see the benchmark which is written there on top left is what is showing here. Many
Hmm.
times you will see that something which is written there below riskometer is
Hmm.
not shown here. It takes Nifty 50 is my question. Then whatever performance in the statistics that you show on the
Hmm.
right side in the benchmark, is it the one which is showed in the chart or is it the one which is
Sure.
written there? Yeah,
Sure.
there's my question.
Sure. So what we show here is again a fund manager declared benchmark. For most of the cases, you would see that the same benchmark is taken right here. However, in certain cases wherein let's say a fund has like a CRISIL benchmark, which is currently not available because we do not get the data from CRISIL at the moment, they are not ready to share the data, right? So in those cases, we consider Nifty 50. And in those cases, when you see Nifty 50, it is showing you the performance of the fund against Nifty 50. These are static data, which we say that this is the benchmark that is declared by the fund manager. If you see that there is Nifty 50 mentioned right here, it is showing the performance of the fund against Nifty 50. And the same could also be seen towards this top right hand side as well, which can let you know what benchmark has been taken.
Okay, then all the data on the right side, bottom, like asset and benchmark, will be this data which you have taken
Yes,
in the chart, right?
this data is specific to the benchmark that has been taken, which can be verified right here as well. What is the benchmark that is taken?
So in case I'm not able to do that, then I can go to the engine and then 10, 20, 10, 90 and all those I can take, whatever is suitable, right?
The a custom benchmark you're talking about?
Custom or engine also you have, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Reference index,
10,
correct.
10, 10, 90 and
Yes, this
90,
is all.
10.
Yes, this is anytime flexible. Simply click on it and it will change accordingly.
Okay, thanks, thanks.
Sure, no problem. Okay, there's another question in the chat box. How do we customize the period for returns? So, right here, if you want to view it for a different time period than that you see on the screen, you can simply click on this change as an option. Let's say you want to view it maybe from 1st Jan 2024. You can simply click onto this option and select the dates. If not, we have also provided certain predefined time periods. You can also select them. Okay, if you want to view the returns for like 1 year, you can simply click onto this change as an option and select 1 year ago. That is a predefined time period that we have mentioned. There's another question in the chat box. What could be an appropriate benchmark for hybrid funds? So at the moment, there's specifically no hybrid benchmark available on the platform. However, you can anytime use the option to custom create your own benchmark. So right here under the benchmark section, there's an option called as custom, within which there's an option called as manage custom indices. So you can select the benchmark appropriately. Let's say maybe I take Nifty 500, and maybe let's say for debt I take CCIL bond index, and you can give an allocation of your choice to each of the benchmark and then give it a name and save it onto your end. All right, so there's another question in the chat box. How can you view the credit rating for debt MFs? So for the same, you can anytime load a fund, a debt fund onto your end. Let's say currently I'll just take a maybe medium to long duration fund, and I'll load it in a single fund analysis page. So this data could be available in our tab called as asset allocation, which is lying next to the fund performance tab. And within asset allocation, we have a page called as debt, which is exactly next to the equity holdings page, which can give you the data. So you go to this asset allocation and then there's a debt tab. So the credit rating for the total debt component of the portfolio comes up in this section. And the detail of the same could be available in this overview section. Any more questions, please let us know. Okay, so there's another question in the chat box. How can you get the net YTM for all the debt schemes? So you can load the debt schemes right here in this funds section. You simply click on filter categories and select the category that you're looking upon. And then we have a column called as net YTM. So you can anytime sort this data. And against that, we also have the YTM column and the TER data. Okay, so there's another question in the chat box. How can you get the daily NAV and returns of a particular fund? So we have a feature in the fund section called as this reports tab. which can help you to download a daily NAV report. So this can be downloaded from the system at around 11 or 11:30, and into a single Excel sheet you get to see the latest NAV of all the funds and their return specific details as well. So this is how your page comes up. You can select a category that you're looking upon, and then the latest NAV for the schemes come up. And next to that, you get to see certain return related statistics. So if you want to view it for a single fund, you can anytime bring that fund to this compare section. We have a compare tab. You can search for that respective fund. Similarly, you can add any other fund that is there and the statistics come up. What is the current NAV, the price, and the return statistics. So there's another question, if we can segregate the thematic funds which are currently there in the other sectoral category. So the classification, the SEBI classification is what we show onto our system in this screener section. However, if you want to work around it, maybe you can make use of our query tab, wherein in this section called as select statistic filter, you can input fund name as thematic. So all the funds which have thematic as their fund name will could come up right here. And you can simply click on show the number of funds. And in a similar way, if you search for any other fund from the sectoral category, be it manufacturing or infrastructure, you can do or rather save this query on your end, and then you can have the option to load this saved query. So rather than selecting it out of the screener section, you can make use of our query tab.
Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
This is regarding my segregation query.
Huh.
You just replied the thing. Thanks for that. But the problem is that when suppose I want to segregate for PSU funds, okay?
Okay.
So there are 5 to 6, maybe 7 PSU funds.
Hmm.
So how should we segregate that?
Uh, okay. PSU, just a minute. There is a
Maybe
category.
there are many other things also. There. Sorry, in other thematic funds, you are showing it as like 100, more than 100 funds, 161 other sectoral funds.
Correct. So, in a similar way, as I highlighted, let's say if you're talking about maybe infrastructure fund, you simply search infrastructure, and the funds which have that respective name will now come up, and you click on show the number of funds.
Okay.
In a similar way, if you're talking about manufacturing funds, you can do the same process. Just simply save this query as infrastructure. So the next time you come, just simply go to the query section and click on your query, infrastructure funds. Okay, there's another question how you can get the daily NAV and returns of a single fund. So, when you open a single fund analysis, there is an Excel download option available right here. Once you download this Excel, the daily NAV and the respective returns will come up. This is available on a single fund level. The NAV, the price, and the returns come up.
Hey, Anshu. Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, hi. It may be a bit, divergent question. Suppose I have a fund in a portfolio of a client,
Huh.
and the person has invested on a particular dates.
Correct.
Can we compare, like in say in last 10 years, he may have invested through SIP and otherwise lump sum. He may have invested, say, 100 times or 200 times a
Hmm.
particular amount, which again varies.
Hmm.
Can we get, the Nifty 500 TRI or those numbers for those particular dates and compare how it would have been better or worse compared to a Nifty 500 or 50 or whatever TRI number, any benchmark number? Can
Uh,
we do that in present platform?
so you're talking about a single fund, right? Multiple transactions done on a single fund is is
Yeah,
what you're talking about, right? And against a benchmark, how it would look like.
yeah. Maybe like right now it's a single fund. Maybe
Hmm.
later I'm trying to simplify the question.
Hmm.
Maybe we can have multiple funds. Look, particularly like generally on a long run, people
Hmm.
generally want to contain their risk and maximize their returns. So maybe multiple funds also in the same
Okay,
platform.
sure. So what we have right here is, for example, I have added a fund. Let's say I'll also add a benchmark quickly. So we have a tab called as point to point, which is more like a lump sum investment scenario. You can input a lump sum figure, and then there are five editable buckets. You can input your desired time horizon, and you can view the result not just in amount, but also in percentage format. Now, this is more like a lump sum, as I highlighted. We also have a separate tab called as monthly SIP, wherein in a similar way, you can input an installment amount and the dates. And at a gist, it could show you the XIRR and final value.
Okay, okay. But not from a portfolio of a particular person. We can't have that comparison on those particular dates, right? I
Yes,
got this. This is good enough. This
huh,
is also quite helpful.
hmm,
But I'm just saying, in case a portfolio has multiple dates and multiple investments through SIP
hmm,
or lump sum or redemptions,
hmm.
we can't have that kind of comparison right now.
That is correct because we are more like a front end research and analytical software, right? What you are currently requiring is more from a back office end. A transactional software would be showing you the same analysis.
Okay,
I
okay.
just to
And
add, sorry to
sorry,
interrupt. No, just adding to some another thing may be useful for you. Answer is the portfolio SIP thing out yet?
Yes, sir, it's there.
Yeah. So obviously this will not match the dates of the SIP investments of your particular client, but if you do have a their latest portfolio, um, it can simulate what the SIP on this portfolio would have looked like. So you can have this comparison, and along with this, you can do a separate one for the benchmark individually, and you can put them side by side. So this might help, but this will only do for an exact set of funds, and only those funds over any period of time. So this is a SIP of the portfolio.
okay, thanks. I believe this is a new feature. Earlier, it was not
Yeah,
there.
released just last month.
Okay, okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Anshu, another thing, like, can we have Nifty 500 or TRI data? Like you have just shared the
Hmm.
NAV data of a particular fund through
Ha,
Excel,
Excel.
can we also have the benchmark data in Excel
Yes. So you
downloadable?
can go to the market section. You can add benchmarks that you're looking for, right? And then there's an Excel down. Again, you can input a date of your choice, and then we also have an Excel download feature. This will give you the levels of these benchmarks in a single Excel file.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Any more questions? Please let us know. All right, if there are no further questions, we would close for today. Thank you all for joining in. We have a YouTube page wherein all our webinars that have been conducted up until now would show up. We have a dedicated playlist for all the webinars that have been conducted. Today's webinar will also get updated by next week. Thank you all for joining in. Hope to see you again next week with a new topic. Thank you.